Well, first of all, natural gas has a seasonality. We have seen this year more seasonality demand also in the summer because it got hotter in a lot of places. So there was more buying in the summer than previously. We have, of course, in the winter, much more demand for natural gas, which is this year going to be particularly a problem. You will see till 2025 that natural gas is going to be at very, very lofty highs. And so that means whatever we talk right now about natural gas is not a short-term phenomenon. We're going to see for a longer period of time that this market is under stress. As we talk right now, the prices are very hot in the pre-winter. This is because of a lot of anxiety. You may see that starting November, Russia will release more natural gas supplies into the market. That may help to soften some of the anxieties. But to be honest with you, whether we and how we go through the winter highly will depend on the winter weather.
That's pretty extraordinary. So even if we do see Russia open up, begin supplying more natural gas to Europe, you don't think it's going to make a significant difference?
It will help to allow the European utilities to refill their inventories. We are now around 75% inventory fill. This is behind the schedule. They need to go much higher. And of course, remember last year we were at 96% and it was drawn down in a very long cold winter to 30%. And that was eventually the starting point for the crisis right now, that they didn't manage to really refill their inventories that much. But this year it's a different story altogether because we have a major energy crunch in Russia. You reported about it. That has implications everywhere along the energy chain. Also on oil, we can see that there is a gas to oil switching. We have South America countries requiring much more natural gas because they don't have enough hydropower due to the drought. We have suppliers that were simply having maintenance issues and they thought the market will not come back so quickly. So all that takes time again to restart the engines on the production front. And altogether, what you mentioned at the beginning is the whole call on fossil fuel producers to get out. I think there is a mismanagement on the timing side. If you want to get out of fossil fuels, you have to invest in natural gas. That sounds maybe counterproductive, but to be honest with you, if you want to get out of coal, you only will achieve the same thing what the US has done by investing more in natural gas so that you can reduce the carbon-intensive emissions from coal. And that requires you need to give the investor security on investment. And that only works if you are not blaming natural gas in this respect. And so this will now see in the next few years major repercussions.
Well, I want to just go a little bit further. You outline incredibly well the challenge that Europe is facing right now as they try to make this transition and bridge the gap between now and becoming much more reliant on renewables. How should they go about managing this transition better? What do you want to see from Europe?
Well, first of all, they have to start and manage, right? What they're doing right now, making announcements, and they're far away from any kind of management. The problem in energy is security of supply. And energy supply chains, we're talking here about 10 years. This is the horizon in order to change a little bit. And what we're having right now are politicians that are all jumping very much in the front line, want to present themselves to be very green. Everyone likes that. I mean, this is a no-brainer that we have to get green. But the question is how to get there. And in order to get there in a substantial way, you have to cut back on coal. If you want to get free coal, you have to have natural gas as an alternative. And this is something that is very, very, very difficult to achieve. In Europe, we still have a lot of coal burning right now, and it's even more so because we don't have cheap enough natural gas. That shows you that whatever the politicians have been doing is management by chaos, and they're not managing the transition at all. So they have to get on their feet and to start thinking how to reduce CO2 emissions in a proper format.